It's a good weekend of Pittsburgh football for you guys, I'm guessing. I didn't get any angry text messages on Sunday.
I was certainly happy with the Steelers' result, although they started out like they were going to get boat raced. But
I thought that game was going to be very ugly, and they kept themselves in it, and that was all kind of took. Like, the crowd was booing, like, 2 drives in. Like, literal boos were raining down, and no fire Tomlin chants or anything like that. But
they haven't done – so trade deadline ends in 30 minutes. They haven't done anything today, right?
Yeah, that's going to be beyond Butler.
Okay. So I was going to say.
Spoiler
they called
alert.
on Marvin Harrison Jr. last night or recently, and Cardinals said 0% chance of that. So that would have been really cool.
Gotcha. So am I spoiling Beyond Butler if I ask what would you guys have wanted to see them do at the trade deadline? Is that where you were going or no? Because you don't need to answer that if that's what your question was going to be.
It was going to be something along those lines. or like, is it the worst thing in the world that they didn't trade for a receiver?
Yeah.
Like,
how many sacks did you guys have? It was 6?
I think 6.
6 and 5 turnovers.
6 turnovers, actually.
There was a video of Daniel Jones, because I didn't watch TV broadcast, but I saw someone post it, and he's like looking, he's like, like he's reverting back to regular Daniel Jones.
Indiana Jones, they call him out. I am Butler Eagle Sports writer Derek Pida, and here with me today are fellow sports writer Brendan Howe and Eagle Sports editor Jake Murda Adams. This is season 2 of the Alter Eagles Eye on Sports.
He's legitimately had 2 of the better nicknames in modern sports as one person.
I think Danny Dimes
Jones
was more condescending than. I don't think they were serious.
Well, because he was throwing dimes.
I don't know.
That's what it was.
He threw the ball. Wasn't he the one that threw the ball? Kirk Cousins threw the ball short of the sticks on 4th down in the playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
same quarterback.
Neither one of those passes was anywhere near as bad as the one Jordan Love threw on Sunday.
Oh my god! And the defensive back dropped the interception. I would drop it too. It's like a punt.
I saw someone do, I think it was Twitter or Instagram, like a play analysis of it, and they're like charting the routes and everything. And they're like, look, and he got his guy wide, like moving the pocket. He hits his guy wide open. It's obviously the DB.
I saw someone made a meme of it's Jordan Love's picture, Brett Favre on one shoulder with the devil, and then Aaron Rodgers on the other shoulder with the angel, because Rodgers is very risk averse, and Favre would throw the ball into 7-person coverage.
Yeah.
So it's either one or the other, and we saw which one came to Pittsburgh. It would have been nice had Sunday's version of Jordan Love showed up a few weeks ago.
Week to week, I'm telling you, that league is crazy. I mean, after beating Pittsburgh, everybody's talking up Green Bay, and then they go home. And I will say this about that Carolina-Green Bay game. Certainly not surprised that the Packers were favored. Carolina came into that game 4-4, so, nothing great, middling record. They were 13.5-point underdogs.
That's unheard of in the NFL.
13.5. And it's not like they were a 1-win or a no-win team. They were 4-4.
I wrote something last night, and I was surprised to see that the record is as good as 5-4.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised to see that they're a winning football team at this point in the season, because when you think of the Panthers, especially recently, they just have not been that great. So, I don't know. I'd still sound the alarm if I was Green Bay. Tucker Kraft got hurt, who shredded the Steelers, tore his ACL. So, they played the Eagles this week, right?
Yes.
You get them. So
Monday night.
We'll see the Packers come back and beat the Eagles. And Eagles didn't play this week.
They were off. But it was Howie Roseman's season, baby.
Yeah.
3 trades.
Added a few people.
At the trade. I wonder who the last team was to make 3 trades in the 2 weeks leading up to the trade deadline.
I wonder what happened with
NFL doesn't trade much.
Jair Alexander. I wonder what happened, because everyone was excited about him being in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, what did you have?
Laura lost it. What's going on?
Suddenly, they trade him away. He was a healthy scratch last week.
Yeah.
So
he's not played like either of the last 3 games, either as a healthy scratch or as just a DNP.
And you're excited about getting that?
I'm not excited about that. The Jalen Phillips move is a little bit better, but I also, huge grain of salt on all of it. The NFL has proven that midseason trades are harder to pull off in terms of like the player having success with the next team immediately, because of all of the scheme stuff that they have to absorb very quickly. Whereas in the NBA, some of this stuff you can kind of just some of there's not as many tactics to deal with, and it's not offense versus defense. It's just here's how we play. We can build you in a little bit. Baseball, it's see ball, hit ball, pitch ball. And
how about Kyle Duggar? He had 2 practices with the Steelers, and one of them was a walkthrough, and he was able to play on Sunday. Speaking of safeties, Jalen Ramsey, you see the few hits he had on Tyler Warren and what's his name, Michael Pittman. I asked Jalen on Friday, because he talks Fridays, I asked him, I said, because he'd never played safety up until this year in the NFL. He played at Florida State, and I asked him, I was like, so how comfortable are you getting at safety? And he's someone, if you don't ask a question the perfectly right way, he will pick you apart. He looked at me, he's like, I don't know how to answer that. He's like, I've played every position this season. It's like, I just asked how comfortable you are. I'm not asking you to explain the intricacies of playing safety, but playing safety for him is just taking guys' heads off.
Wait, what was the question again?
I said, how comfortable are you with playing safety at this point in the season?
How many times has he played safety?
He's sporadically played it in each game. Like, he hasn't been stationed there, but he's been playing every position. So he hadn't played safety in the NFL up until this year, and we see his it seems every game he's just like popping someone in the helmet. Like, he wants to run someone over. Like, I don't know. It's cool to see.
And isn't he the one that also called the team meeting?
Yep.
Last week.
That is something that hopefully he gives some insight into this week. But Aaron Rodgers was very inspired by the impassioned speech that he gave. So
they're abusing our boy Brendan down there at Steeler practices. So far this year, when we have talked college football, the vast majority has been Penn State, and going from 3-0 to 3-5 now, and James Franklin getting fired. Let's focus on some positive. And who would have thought in November we'd be talking positively about the Pitt Panthers?
I'm not.
We're going to do it now. I'm forcing you to do it. They just beat Stanford over the weekend. They've won 5 straight. They're 7-2. My question for you is, their last 3 games are against ranked teams: Notre Dame number 10, Georgia Tech number 16, Miami number 18. If they
Miami's still ranked after that?
18, yeah.
Wow.
Carson Beck's eyes are in 2 different zip codes.
That's what the AP website said. If they win out, are we talking just really good bowl game, or are we talking playoff?
Well, if they win out, including the ACC championship, they're automatically in the playoffs.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think I said this a few minutes ago before we went on air. There's a chance that they could win out in the regular season and still miss the ACC championship game because of a tiebreaker. So let's say they win out in the regular season, miss out on the conference championship because of a tiebreaker. They'd still be 10-2 with an 8-game winning streak, with victories over pretty good teams.
Even then, if they win out and don't make the ACC championship, they're still a 2-loss team, right?
8 straight wins.
One of those losses was bad against West Virginia, and the other was they kind of fumbled against Louisville. But at this point in the season, and I've noticed this with college football year, there's like maybe one superpower, and that's Ohio State, and everybody else. Texas has 2 losses, I think, right now. Mm-hmm. They can end up a 3-loss team playing the SEC. I still think that they'd have a chance of making the playoff. As a 10-2 team, the big thing has been Mason Heinschel, who even before they started him, there were rumblings around the Steelers and Pitt's facility that he was a better quarterback as a true freshman. So true freshman over Holstein.
Which is interesting because Holstein last year was the redshirt freshman that transferred in from Bama, I think it was, and sparked that team last year they tailed off near the end, but they were 6-0, 6-1 to start last year, I think it was.
7-0.
It was a cupcake, not conference schedule for sure.
Yeah,
but
and something, my close friend Nick Faribault, he went to Pitt, he covers the Steelers with me, and he and I talked about recently actually, like, Pat Narduzzi is, I might not love him as a coach or as like just his personality, he just seems like a meathead football coach, but as a coach and as a talent evaluator, he seems to find guys. Like, obviously there's Pickett, who was good in college, Jordan Addison, like they have players go to the league, so he can find guys, and you can't really complain about that.
Was Aaron Donald when he was a coach there, or was that before him?
I think that was
before.
Slightly beforehand.
Yeah. That's back when
Todd Graham.
Paul Christ.
It's Todd Graham or Paul Christ.
Todd
One of the
Scram,
two.
Todd whatever.
Todd Scram.
Hey, I want to throw this out there because this is how crazy college sports are now. And this is true. I looked it up. Do you know that this year, and Eli Holstein is now Pitt's backup quarterback, he is making more this year
than Paul Skeens.
Yes. It's like $875,000 for Paul Skeens, and $1 million for Eli Holstein, and he's Pitt's backup quarterback.
Speaking of, I did finally see, I think we were talking about this last week, the commercial that he's in now, Skeens is in. Oh, he's not winning no Academy Award anytime soon. Man.
I mean, they try to pull some personality out of him.
When you have a supermodel girlfriend, you gotta worry about that though. So
But, he looked like a stick.
supermodel girlfriend and shotgun for an arm.
Yeah,
Does have that. I'm looking I haven't followed college football for the last few weeks. I did not realize Indiana and Texas A&M are 2 and 3 in the rankings. What is this?
Indiana is very good.
Penn State played Ohio State this weekend, and this coming weekend they get Indiana. So good.
Well, Louisville is number 14.
To talk real quick about the Ohio State Penn State, that game, and I texted my brother and a few others.
Of course you did.
No, I texted him. I said it's sad that Penn State ruined what was supposed to be like a marquee matchup. Like I was supposed to be like a 1 versus 2 matchup, and instead they go in there, they make it competitive in the first half. I didn't get to watch because I was at the soccer game, Freeport. I watched the second half, and by then Julian Sands just rocketing balls, Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. Like, it's not even fair at that point, but I don't know. Now they don't play, I think, until 2028 or 2029. So I get to bask in the glory of them not winning since I was in high school for a few more years. And I'm kind of actually sad that I won't see Ohio State play Penn State these next few years because it is fun getting a rise out of my friends.
That is, that game going away for a little bit is bad.
But Big Ten championship, like I said, with Indiana. Good team. I don't know how they're that good, but that's probably going to be it.
So I looked up some of the bowl games just to see. I don't know how all the matchup stuff works. Like, it changes every freaking year, it seems like. But the New Year's Eve slate, let's say Pitt wins out and they don't win the ACC championship, so they're not going to play for the CFP. But the New Year's Eve games include the ReliaQuest Bowl, which I'm just basing straight off of names. I'm ranking these off of names from worst to best. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, and then you've got the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl and the Tony the Tiger Son Bowl. Easily the best name of those 4. That's the one I'm shooting for.
What about the Game Above Sports Bowl in Detroit that I went to last year?
I remember Pitt playing in the Sun Bowl one year against Oregon State. This was New Year's Eve 2008. They played Oregon State in the Sun Bowl and lost 3-0. 3-0. 3-0.
That's one I'll have to go back and watch on YouTube later on the night.
The December 27th slate of games, bowl games, has probably the best grouping of bowl game names of the season. It's got the Go Bowling Military Bowl, Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Wasabi Fenway Bowl, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. That's amazing. This is the first I'm hearing of this. I'm going to skip some of these other bad ones. The Kinder's Texas Bowl, and then my favorite, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That is going to be a New Year's 6 game at some point in the next 10 years, just because of the Pop-Tarts. Great marketing by them.
I have a college football encyclopedia that I would read when I was like in junior high and high school, and the guy just it's 2 USA Today writers. I forget who they are, but they say at the start of the book, because they list the bowls every year and like a recap of them. He's like, I'm not even gonna bother doing the sponsorships. Like, it's just stupid. So he just named the bowl what it was and left it at that.
Except for the Pop-Tarts
The Tostitos PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
What's the chances of Mason Heinchel still being a Pitt Panther next year? Because as you said, teams are going to come after him in the transfer portal like crazy after the performance he's had so far.
There might be the sense of, and it's not around much anymore, but loyalty. Like Pat Narduzzi gave him the chance. I think his only other offers were from MAC schools. So, and players like Pat Narduzzi, and if they were willing to pay Holstein, and
I also don't
pay him, right?
I also don't know. I don't think you're seeing too many guys transfer freshman starter to another school going into sophomore year. It's more like junior into senior year. It feels like I'm seeing a lot of these guys. Carson Beck being one. I think he's either grad senior or going into his senior year.
He's like my age.
Pitt football fans should start taking up a collection right now. Just go around with
who's more important, him or Skeens? Yeah, fans had to pick one.
I'd take Heinchel because
What?
I'm serious. There's no way the Pirates are going to keep Paul Skeens.
He's saying if you can keep one of the two.
I'm looking at it logically, knowing what
That's fair.
Bob Nutting is going to pay.
It's a sound strategy. I understand it. I would go with Skeens just because, like, if you can get, I think more Pittsburgh would want to see Skeens stay. and would pay to see him stay.
You know what? Bob Nutting would take the money that fans collect and he'd just pocket it.
Yes.
That's what he'd do.
That's wild.
Anywho.
That's probably as close as I'll get to the. What was the freak out you had the other day? Mediocre.
Yeah.
Penn State.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you need another freak out.
He just kind of did.
Just got to press his buttons.
It wasn't the same.
We don't have time for a freak out today.
Freak out.
Maybe next week.
What would Paul Skeens' record have been this year if he was on a real baseball team?
Poke
with a
the bear.
good offense? I mean, he was 10-10 with the Pirates. He could have gone like 20-4.
What would Paul Skeens' record be as Pitt's starting quarterback?
Paul Skeens?
As Pitt's starting quarterback. Oh, this is fun. This is good. Come on, Derek.
I should ask that at media day
He
tomorrow.
throws that football. He throws a football in his
3-9.
warm-ups. That's crazy. There's no way.
Wait, he throws a football in his
He's
warm-ups?
like what,
a
like
lot of
6'5"?
pitchers will practice, like will warm up their arm throwing a football because it's not the same grip. So it's believed to put less strain on like the arm and elbow. So it's just a way to get everything moving, but not
They'd
like
beat Central Michigan.
over repeat the same motions.
They'd beat the fighting Antonio Browns.
All I'm saying is Paul Skeens has a perfect quarterback build, pocket passer. I think it'd be pretty good.
Definitely a pocket passer. That's
Paul,
for sure.
Yeah, but
If you'd like
That's him
to
running
how
parse
does
this
he
out,
take that first shot in the back from a defensive?
he's a big
end?
guy.
Yeah, he is a big
You guys
guy.
have an interview in 11 minutes.
And he was in the military, Air Force or whatever. So he's probably a
Fly
tough guy,
high,
too.
Paul. Fly high.
It makes it sound like he died.
So this past week, I was at Highmark on Friday to cover 2 soccer games. But we're going to talk about football here first. First week of the playoffs. Brendan, you were down at where were you?
Thomas
Jefferson, the dead president. That's right. Covering Mars, and that's the one playoff team that we had that is no longer playing. Their season's over. Talk about the way the Planet's season ended.
They obviously didn't start well. I think at one point, and Jake put this in his updates, and I tweeted out, they had 7 yards of total offense, I think, through their first 2 or 3 drives. And meanwhile, Thomas Jefferson's first drive went 16 plays. They didn't score a touchdown, but it was mainly ground-based. And you could tell at that point, like, this team is going to be a problem for Mars, just in terms of keeping the ball away from them, running the clock down. Then their quarterback kind of got on the horse, started throwing some passes that were much needed. Like I said to you guys before the show started, Tyler Eber, their star running back, he was kept mainly in check. He had 24 carries at halftime, ended with 33. I think only somewhere around 120, 130 yards. I can't exactly remember which. But yeah, Eric Kasparovich said after, I didn't talk to him. I talked to the kids. He said it was probably better just talk to them, hear their thoughts. In the post-game huddle, he said that they didn't play complimentary football. And they turned the ball over 3 times. They threw 3 picks. And Colin Yersnick owned up to that. There was a glimmer of hope there before halftime where they get pinned back on the 1-yard line, get 1 first down, and I think it was an 88-yard touchdown. It was a post from Yersnick to Hine. And at that point, you're thinking maybe there's some hope. Maybe they can get this together, get the ball back in the second half. And I think they punted to start the second half. So just not a characteristic Mars performance. I don't want to say maybe they were looking ahead to McKeesport, but I'm sure that was on their minds, knowing kind of what was ahead of them. So yeah, pretty anticlimactic finish to their season. Would have liked to see them go further with the offense and defense they had, but it wasn't to be there. So good season overall. They don't make the semifinals for the 3rd year in a row, and I'm sure that they'll be regretting that one for a little while.
So Karns City received the bye. They are not playing until this Friday against Central Clarion. But Jake, Freeport, Union AC Valley, and North Catholic all played and all advanced.
They did. Union AC Valley and North Catholic, I don't think were too surprising. Freeport was a tight game. It looked like it could have been a tight game, but they pulled away from that. Amos Glenn, we keep talking about this, has another return touchdown. It's just crazy.
So
I think it's his 9th.
I think I have an idea, like the scoring trophy. I've talked to him a few times this year. I was driving here thinking of this, actually. I think I'm going to call each coach that he had a return touchdown on that faced him and say, like, what stands out about this kid? Because when John told me that yesterday, I went out there yesterday to write about a story that's going to drop on Thursday about them embracing the underdog role. When John said that, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this kid must have eyes in the back of his head with the way he's able to return balls. or it's just the scheme of how John has always said they set up a wall. Like they don't try and block blockers one-on-one. They try and get in their places and keep the tacklers from getting to him. So cool for him there. They said that Beaver thought they were going to come in there and beat them, and ultimately they didn't. So
I thought that.
Yeah.
I'm the dunce.
I didn't think it was going to be.
Did you choose against them too?
No, you guys picked Freeport.
Yeah, I picked Freeport.
Because they said to me yesterday, like, no one believed in us. I was like, I chose you. What are you talking about?
I'm the only pick that matters here, and that sucks for me this year because I'm stinking in the picks.
Union AC Valley, that game was over pretty quick. The North Catholic one was over even quicker. Brennan had sent me some of the stats from that game, I think on Saturday or Sunday, because we didn't get the box score Friday night. But it makes their passing game look like it was electric. But what I noticed while bouncing back and forth on the streams and stuff like that and focusing on that game, since we didn't have a reporter at that one, is there was a lot of just dink and dunk screen pass stuff, and the Burrell's defense was not there, just not there at all. So credit to the team. North Catholic made the plays it needed to make, and took advantage of the situation given to them and ran the score up. But it weren't a ton of deep shots. It was just a very set the screen pass up, blockers are downfield, and just daylight.
Can I add what Joe Felitsky did this past week for North to my fantasy stats? He had 6 touchdown passes.
So
6.
His first half total was the most ever for a WPIAL player in a WPIAL game.
In a game or in
the first half. Okay. Most yards in the first half of any WPIAL quarterback ever.
That's crazy.
So how many was it?
Over 400.
He finished with 460 or something like that.
I think it was all in the first half too, and then they sat him from what I read.
Okay.
So I'll cover them this week, and I don't know what you guys' picks are, but John said yesterday that he thinks Elizabeth Ford is kind of in the driver's seat there. I don't know there. That offense with the receivers they have is scary.
Speaking of Amos Glenn, I don't know if the state keeps records on return touchdowns, but he's got 9 now?
We believe it's
in
9,
11 games?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. That's nuts.
I've never seen anything like that.
Can't even do that in a video game.
I think I've seen some stuff where a kid has had 4 or 5 pick sixes in a season, but in the last 10 years, but not this.
Regarding the scoring trophy, make sure scoring trophy's only regular season points.
Mm-hmm.
Even so,
but just make sure that you have his amount of points through the regular season, which was 10 games.
Glenn beat the Karns City kids by 30 points. So yeah, it was his by a wide margin.
Congratulations, Amos Glenn, 2025 Butler Eagle Scoring Trophy winner. Brendan will be down to present it to you.
Should I bring him famous Amos cookies?
We should.
Should I? I think that'd be funny.
Should have the CNN election breaking news banner for it, since it's election night here. Just and we can report with 95% certainty, Amos Glenn is the Butler Eagle Scoring Trophy winner.
Him and Drew Ross, their quarterback, whose ankle's a little banged up, had a rest day yesterday. It's kind of like the Steelers get with the vet days off. I think John Gaylott knows how important they are to their chances to knock off Avonworth this week, because they were both in sweatpants and a hoodie, and I asked him, I said, just a day off? I said, yeah, a little tired here.
We should throw in the Stump Dare question while we got a minute, waiting for our interview to start.
It drives me crazy when you guys do something like that, because then I didn't want to edit anything. I just wanted to.
I'm sorry, Laura.
We
stopped with a couple minutes to go before.
See, that Napoleon Dynamite costume just went through her head.
Seriously. It's on her desktop now. I think she's just been walking around
I told
muttering.
I spent it in Alaska with my cousins hunting
unrelated.
Wolverines.
On Friday night when I went out, I put, how Pickens wore the eye black that said
food.
Hey friends, before we jump back in, just a quick reminder. If you're looking for all the latest high school football scores, schedules, news, and highlights around Butler County, make sure you check out this week's live coverage on our website. It starts every Thursday with features, previews, and more, and continues Friday evening with a live blog we update throughout the games and post-game recaps after that, so you don't miss a thing. ButlerEagle.com/section/sports has everything from local highlights to player spotlights. So it's a great place to stay caught up on all things high school football, soccer, and the rest of the fall sports. That's ButlerEagle.com/section/sports. Also, If you're enjoying this podcast, it really helps us out when you rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen. And don't be afraid to tell your friends and family. We love word of mouth. It not only helps more people find us, but it also lets us know what you'd like to hear more of. Thanks for your support. Now let's get back to the show.
Knoch Jr. Carter French has been one of Butler County's top runners in cross country the last 2 years, having just wrapped up the 2025 season with a win at the TSTCA Championship, a silver medal at the WPIAL Championships, and 6th place at the PIAA Championships. That gives him 4 district and state medals the last 2 years. Thanks for joining us, Carter. Thank you very much for taking the time here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So what got you in the running, Carter? Was there a family member that kind of influenced your involvement in the sport?
Yeah, so I used to race motocross before this, and I wasn't the most in shape kid, so my parents told me I needed to sign up for a school sport, and I decided, cross country would be a great way to get in better shape. And when I first started, I was pretty bad. I was, getting beat by some of the girls, but something clicked one day, and here I am.
Hey, before we continue real quick, is the mic that you're using covered or something? It's starting to come in like really staticky, and we're getting some. And now I'm hearing myself talk on your end. Sorry for the technical issues here.
Yeah, sorry.
Good. I can try to put on headphones.
That's better. What did you just move your phone? If you sit it, sometimes it picks up a reverb. So is it your phone?
It could be. I'm holding my phone right now.
Okay, now you sound good.
You sound really good right now. I don't know if you can. We don't want you to hold it because we don't want to move it around. But
whatever you're doing now, keep doing, basically.
Okay.
You want me to ask the first question again?
yeah, yes, if you can, Derek.
Okay.
Carter, what got you in the running? Have you always been a runner, or did you play other sports growing up before starting this sport?
So I used to race motocross beforehand, and I wasn't in the best shape. And my parents were also making me do a school sport, so I figured cross country was a great way to try to get in better shape. And then when I first started, I wasn't very good. I was getting beat by some of the girls, and then something just clicked one day, and I decided to work really hard at it, and now, here I am.
Well, this kind of segues into the question I wanted to ask next is, I've seen shirts for years covering cross country that say, my sport's your sport's punishment. And it almost kind of started that way for you, it sounds like. It's like something to keep you in shape for other sports you were playing. So now that you're a full-time runner, what serves as your motivation every day for getting up on those miserable days where it's like raining or snowing or it's brutally hot outside to run miles and miles and miles?
Running is, tough. There's no way around it. It's a tough sport. And so, I've kind of dedicated myself to allowing myself to be the best I can be. So even on the days where it kind of sucks and it's rainy and, miserable out, you got to do what you got to do. And I just kind of try to run with that mentality.
When you're out for runs, whether it's like your regular course that you just go to for like a relaxing run and to train on your own, or one of the courses that you have competed at, whether your home course or another one, or even if you've been on vacation somewhere, it's just I'm just going to go run along the beach or in these woods or whatever. What's your most favorite place that you've ever gotten a chance to run at?
So we went to Hawaii over the summer.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so we went there, and it's everywhere you look, it's either mountain or beach. And the nice thing there is all the beaches are public. So during my runs, I would go, and if I saw a beach, I would just go explore it without having to worry about, getting in trouble or anything. So, it was I'd go running. I'm I don't want to stop. It's beautiful everywhere you go. So that's for sure my favorite spot.
Awesome.
What do you say your career goals are as a runner? Is there a race you want to run someday or anything like that?
So for career goals, I for sure want to go run at Balboa Park. It used to be Foot Locker Nationals, but now it's changed to Brooks. That course, it just has a huge history. I've grown up, not really grown up, but since 7th grade, I've been watching that meet, Foot Locker, and just seeing all the iconic names and all the history that course has. So for sure get the opportunity to run there.
Yeah, and you've won a fair amount of medals over the past few weeks. And since it's been a few days since the season ended, how do you kind of assess what you were able to do this season?
I for sure took away a lot of confidence, being able to go out there and compete with some of the best runners in the state and stuff. And even though all races haven't been great this season, I've had a lot of good races, but even on the bad ones, I've kind of used it as an opportunity to stay motivated and, find more hunger in the sport. So for sure, just a lot of confidence, and I've learned a lot and grown a lot as a runner this season.
Carter, you were one of 4 WPIAL runners in the top 6 at Hershey this past weekend. How tough is this group of runners that you faced off with all year, other runners from the WPIAL? How has it impacted your training and your racing?
So it's for sure kept me on my toes because, 3 of the kids that were all in the same section too. Yeah. So, we see each other all the time, and it's kind of allows you to not really be satisfied because, if you get too comfortable or too satisfied, they're looking to beat you too. So if you get comfortable or satisfied, they're going to come and they're going to get you. So it always keeps you on your toes and make sure you stay motivated. And, iron sharpens iron. So keeping these high level guys around, always hold you to that high standard.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. We think of rivalries as being very big in team sports like football and basketball. Do you have a personal rival, a biggest rival in your mind on the course?
So there's for sure some unspoken rivalries, but we race North Catholic a lot, and they always have his name's Jack. He races. We race each other a lot, and we're both really good. We both kind of go neck and neck sometimes. He's beat me twice this season. I beat him twice this season. So it's kind of a bit of an unspoken friendly rivalry for sure.
I've never asked this of a crosscut for like the hundreds of interviews I've done over the years. I've never thought to ask this before. How many pairs of shoes and socks do you go through in the course of a year?
Oh, socks is brutal. I don't even try to keep track at this point. It's bad, but shoes, it's also bad. It's about 10 to 12 pair a year.
10 to 12 pairs?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
It's a lot. It's a bad habit.
He just has a box of shoes sitting in his garage, like sweaty old shoes.
So like,
yeah, our garage is just filled with shoes, and my room and my closet is just piled up with shoes, and then I have another shelf right over here just filled up with shoes. It's wild.
So like the cliche Christmas present is always like, we're going to get you socks because we don't know what else to get you. So is that literally what you get for Christmas and your birthday is just like running shoes and socks?
Yeah. No, my mom's making me do my Christmas list right now. I've sent her socks and like 3 pairs of running shoes. So that's pretty much Christmas is running.
Jeez.
You might need to find a new brand of shoes in that respect. It was funny actually because last week Bailey and I went on my day off. We went up to Pittsburgh. There's a store where you can get like insoles for your gate and stuff like that. So maybe check that out. You might that might help a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But what is the strangest thing that's happened to you or that you've seen while running in a race or during practice?
Yeah, funny enough, it has to do with shoes. So it was my 7th grade year. It was the last race of the season. It was pouring rain. The course is like, it's a really rocky, rooty, tight, windy course, and it was pouring the entire time. And I went. It was the first 600 meters, and my shoe got stepped on. And I ran the rest of the race without a shoe. I was stepping on rocks, sticks. I got stepped on, and I had a big gash in my foot, and I was bleeding pretty good.
And running through mud.
Yeah. No, it was not fun at all.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's not a contact sport. Remember that.
Do you wear Nike socks, like the ones that go up above your ankles?
Yeah, sometimes. Usually for racing, though, I'll wear like ankle socks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems every time I put on a pair of Nike socks, they rip. Like I'm not even joking. I've had 4 or 5 pairs go in the garbage recently.
There goes that Nike endorsement.
You need to cut your toenails every once in a while.
Yeah, Brendan.
That's crazy.
Also, Bailey's his girlfriend. He just randomly dropped that name on you. He likes to talk about her a lot. So
Carter, what's next for you this year? Are you running any of the postseason regional or national races or resting until the indoor season?
Yeah, so I got NXR on the agenda still. I'm just going to go there and, kind of see what it's like to run against some of the top kids in the Northeast and get some experience on the course with the hopes of making it next year to nationals.
So, yeah, you talked a little bit about like the confidence that you've kind of built this season with the success that you've had. And you were mentioning earlier, you want to go run Brooks. So how does this help in that journey if your goal is to be there next year, to be at Brooks next year?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just being out there because a lot of the races we do, I run with a bunch of the same people. So the thing is kind of putting myself out there, getting my name out there, being able to go and run against kids that are just as passionate about it as me and realizing that like how good the competition is and just getting used to that environment.
So Carter, what you obviously put so much effort and time into running and becoming better, but when you're not in the competitive arena and when you're not just even running for fun, how do you spend your free time? When the free time that you have, are you into something else? Do you have any hobbies besides running?
A lot of the time, it's just like hanging out with friends. I've recently tried to pick up guitar and was trying to teach myself. So just a few, like hanging out with friends, trying to teach myself guitar, and that's pretty much it. And a lot of it's just running.
Did you have to give up motocross? Were you like the type of kid like breaking your arm and your hand and falling off the bike and stuff like that? You mentioned you kind of did that before you ran. So when did you kind of give that up and why?
Well, I started, as you get like on the bigger bikes and stuff like that, it just becomes more dangerous. So I saw a lot of my friends, and I think I got a concussion, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. Like, it's so easy to get hurt, and watching a bunch of my friends get hurt, I'm like, this might not be for me. So thank goodness running came into play.
Do you kind of go out sometimes, maybe in like I don't know how big a yard you have, or do you just sometimes take the bike out, or is that completely done now?
Oh, it's done. The bike's gone. Yeah, it got sold pretty quick. My dad was like, I'm so glad you decided to quit, because every time you go ride, I was so scared you were going to get hurt. So my parents, both my parents were very thankful that, I decided to go all in on running.
So that's how they afford all of the shoes, is they sold the bike. That's just gone into the shoe fund.
Yeah. Motocross is ridiculously expensive, so running is a much more affordable sport compared to dirt bikes.
Carter, running, I know this from talking to runners, and I run to the bathroom these days. That's about the only place I run. But between talking to runners and coaches, your sport, you have to be self-motivated. Mm-hmm. Absolutely have to be. Did you always recognize that in yourself, that you could, take the motivation that was within you to accomplish something, or did it take you getting into running and achieving in running to realize that you were a self-motivated person?
Yeah, no, it for sure took some time. I think I realized once I had a bright future in this sport, and, there was a lot of opportunities when I decided, like, I'm really gonna have to buckle down even through the tough times if I want to get where I want to get with this sport. So, I mean, a lot of it is, you said motivation, and I kind of realized you're not going to be motivated a lot of the time. So, just trying to build that discipline and just forcing myself, even if I don't want to go out and do these runs and, put in the work.
This is Knoch Jr. cross-country star Carter French. We appreciate you joining us today, Carter. Congratulations on a great season, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Carter. Talk to you later, man.
Yep, see you.
It's funny he mentions like all the pairs of shoes he wore.
I did not think it was 12.
My senior year of high school and my freshman year of college, I picked up running, and I'd go just run every other day, 7 miles. I ran like the same course, all that. At the end of the summer, I'd ran about, I think, 600, 700 miles, and the pair of shoes my dad gave me, they were Asics, were tattered. They were like barely hanging on my
Everything
feet.
I've ever read is like around 400 is how many miles you get. Like, so if you think maybe he's getting slightly higher end stuff that can maybe hold up to 500, but he's running on tough surfaces, grass and pavement and everything else. If he's going through 10 pairs of shoes at minimum a year, that is 5,000 miles, and he's running probably. That is,
I might, I'm like I told you about that shoe place that Bailey went. She's like, she has a weird arch on her foot, so they gave her like insoles, and she got like really nice shoes. I might do that at some point, just especially if I start running again, just for the comfort of my feet. It'd be nice.
I have those special ones in my cycling shoes where you stand on the thing and it forms to your foot.
Yeah,
those are like, that's the way to go.
I have some.
They're worth it.
She spent like $200 on her shoes though.
Yeah, it's worth it.
I was actually at Dick's the other day. It was another day I was off. I went in. I was like,
sporting goods.
I forgot shoes were this. Like I
They've
thought
got so much more expensive.
I hadn't bought shoes, like a new pair of shoes, in years, and I'm like,
Yeah.
$150 per pair of shoes. Insane.
Yeah.
Like
Used to get them for like $50-$60.
inflation.
You can go to Walmart and get a decent pair of shoes.
And your legs struggle later because of it.
How long do they last? I gotta ask.
Literally, I have the pair I have on now. I bought back in June, and they're totally fine. June.
How many miles you ran in those babies?
I told you I run to the bathroom, and usually I don't have shoes on when I have to do that. So.
Well, it is Movember, guys. Did you know that? It's Movember.
I did think about that today when I shaved, but I was just like, I can't do it.
And I know we're not, like, we don't have to discuss it right this moment because I don't want to take away from what we're doing, but we should. I'm going to stick a little thing in there, but yeah, we should just say, hey, check it out. Movember.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely support that. My facial hair cannot support it. My lack of.
Well, Derek, you had a pretty rad mustache last week.
That took me about 10 weeks to grow that. That's the thing. That's literally 10 weeks.
Well,
it would take me
like
like 10 times that.
Let it grow. Let it grow.
This would take me like probably 2 weeks. So
What do you
He's
look
the one to
No
do
way.
it.
Yeah, what do you look like without the beard and just the mustache?
I have a double chin right now. So
That's why he
Hey,
No, I
Turkey
don't-
Bowl's around the corner. What you talking about?
I know.
I
I'm
mean,
out of
come on,
shape.
man. What are you doing? You can't wait till the last minute. I'm going to talk to you
I'm
in
here.
January, and I'm going to be like, it's time to start training.
I'm here. I'm writing somewhere else or spending time with
Who are you spending time with?
I was doing the Rocky.
Rambo.
You already said her name
Rocky.
like 3 times.
All right, we got to talk about football here. We got to move.
4 playoff games this week.
4.
3 on Friday. We're going to start off with number 8 Freeport traveling to number 1 Avonworth, the defending WPIAL champion Antelopes. You giving Freeport a chance here?
I got to pull out my laptop.
I am giving them a slim chance, but they are going to have to do everything right. They're going to need 1 or 2 Amos Glenn return touchdowns, which is going to bank on the Antelopes making a mistake on special teams, which I don't know if we want to count on. They're going to have to force some turnovers, and they're going to have to control the ball all game. I don't think that that's going to happen, though. I've got Avonworth winning this one 42-20.
Okay, since he's occupied, I'll give you my pick. Avonworth did have a bye last week.
Mhm.
There's a chance that they could come out in this game and be a little rusty. I think if Freeport has any chance, they have to come out and get off to a fast start. And I think they could do that, but I just don't see it being enough to knock off the Antelopes. I got Avonworth winning 32-17.
I thought
Brendan.
my scores were in the file, as you were talking about yesterday with the Wi-Fi. Not too great here. I went out to Freeport yesterday, like I said, and it seems like they're approaching this knowing, as Amos Glenn said, there's no delusion. They know what's up in front of them, and I kind of listed in my story of all the accolades and stuff that Avonworth has had this season in terms of what they've been able to accomplish in the past. They're state runner-ups. They're defending WPIAL champions. So I think Freeport is going to put up a worthwhile fight, but it is hard to beat a top-seeded team that is undefeated and has played like Avonworth has. I saw them play North Catholic. I think that Avonworth wins this 41-14.
All right. Speaking of North Catholic, they are traveling to Elizabeth Forward. I believe this is the 5-4 game.
Yep.
Seed-wise. And Brendan, you'll be at this game. You'd like the Trojans to pull off the upset here.
The Warriors pulled the plug on the Trojans season last year in the same round, same venue. It'll probably be a little bit of deja vu here. Like I said, their offense will be able to kind of keep up, but I see Elizabeth Forward winning this one, advancing 35-28.
Jake?
North Catholic's gave up 38 points per game in its last 5 regular season games, which was mostly conference play. Elizabeth Forward has a really good offense, and usually when we've seen this team go up against a really good offense, they've struggled. I have Elizabeth Forward winning this one 41-21.
Elizabeth Forward has a quarterback, Ryan Messina, almost 2,000 passing yards this year, over 600 rushing yards. But I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen after this week, but I believe for 1 week, North Catholic's going to pull off a game where most people think they are going to lose. Joe Felitsky, Logan Shade, Preston Simcoe, Will Waskowitz, Riker Kennedy, that whole group on offense has a big game, and they beat the host Warriors 36-31.
You're trying to claw back in here.
Okay, so the game I'll be at on Friday up in Brookville, Karns City, facing Central Clarion for the second time this year. This is actually a sub-regional championship game, if you will. Jake, do you like Karns City to keep their winning streak going?
I do. This was a game that they won fairly handily last time. I think if my memory serves, this was like the first Nathan Hess breakout game that we had. We've talked a lot about Owen Higginbotham and Hunter Shearer as the 2 main backs, but Hess has had some like really good games sporadically throughout the year and is fourth on their team in rushing yards, but third for a running back. I don't know if he'll necessarily do that again, but we know this team likes to run the ball and had success against Central Clarion last time, and I think it's going to be no different this time. Karns City 35-14.
Brendan.
So I know this is the analysis you guys come here for. Central Clarion was without their running back the last time they played Karns City. His name is Ethan Rex. I wish his name was Trent or something, so we could call him T-Rex.
T-Rex.
But with that, the last time these two played, Karns City obviously came out on top. I think there was interception or turnover in that game that I covered that kind of flipped the script and allowed Karns City to run away with it. I think this time it's going to be more ground-based. and Central Clarion comes out on top 34-28.
So one of the key cogs in Karns City's ground attack is Owen Higginbottom. He did not play against Wilmington. I guess he got hurt the week before against Punxsutawney. So whether or not he plays remains to be seen. But even without him against Wilmington, Cole Johnston had 121 yards rushing. Nathan Hess had 13 carries for 100 yards. Hunter Shear had 71 yards and 3 touchdowns. So if Owen is able to go for Karns City, great. Even if he's not, I think they're still going to be able to dominate Central Clarion on the ground. This Karns City team, their last 2 games are against Punxsutawney and Wilmington. That's 2 teams with a combined record of 16-4, and they put up 647 rushing yards against those 2 teams. I think it's going to be a closer game than the regular season match, I believe was a 21-point win for Karns City. I think it's going to be closer, but I can't see Central Clarion slowing down Karns City's ground game enough. I like the Gremlins to win 28-21. And a game that is being played Saturday in Brookville is Union AC Valley against Red Bank Valley, another rematch from late August, I believe. Jake, who do you like here?
The key to me is going to be Union AC Valley trying to stop or slow down Braylon Wagner, the quarterback for the Bulldogs. He had 320 yards in the first game this season. They can't let that happen again. They won by, I believe, 4 points in that first matchup. And you got to assume every team is trying to peak by this point in the year. So what we got from the Bulldogs in week 2 or 3 is probably not as good as what they are now. At least that's the assumption you always make. So you can't let them do that. Defense has to slow this down, and if they want to have a chance to win a district title here. I do think they'll do enough, but it's still going to be close. Union AC Valley winning this one 30-24.
Brendan.
We've talked with Max Gallagher multiple times this season for the podcast and otherwise, and he admitted that Red Bank Valley has been a thorn in his team's side for as long as they've been a co-op, honestly. So I think this one feels like a bit of a toss-up. Red Bank Valley, I don't think that they're going to get beat as badly or play as badly as they did against University Valley the first time, but Falcon Knights still come out on top 27-20.
Braylon Wagner is a great athlete. He's the biggest reason that the Bulldogs are here. He's the biggest reason they're still playing. But I think Union AC Valley just has a stronger team overall, and I think this is going to be a rather low-scoring affair. I like Union AC to win 22-10. There it is. If my picks are right, we have 3 teams left next week. We'll see. My picks
I've got 2.
Certainly have not been foolproof this year.
Mine are right. We have 1. So 2. 1. Okay. Derek.
1.
Steelers.
3.
The Steelers honored the Super Bowl
4.
40 team
11.
this Sunday, which begs an interesting question here. Who was the only player that was on both the Super Bowl 30 rosters for the Steelers and Super Bowl 40?
Interesting.
Okay, so 95 and 2005. Yep. I get it.
Bam! He just boom! He just threw those years
Beyond
out.
Butler, let me think about that for a second. I think I can get this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He just threw those years out though. That was quick.
Welcome to Beyond Butler, our weekly segment where we talk about something outside of Butler County, whether that be professionally or collegiately. The Pittsburgh Steelers did not make any moves at the trade deadline. Today it is 4:26, so 26 minutes ago would have been the cutoff point. Which the question here is, would you have liked to see the Steelers do something? Are you disappointed they didn't, or is it whatever?
I'm okay. I mean, I heard talk going in like they were trying to, get a good number 2 receiver. Calvin Austin has come up with big plays this year. I don't know if in a perfect world he should be a team's number 2, more like a slot guy, number 3 type of receiver. But I also know that the big set they go with, where they have 2 or 3 tight ends on the field, teams are having trouble defending that. Now I certainly need, as a Steeler fan, I want to see DK Metcalf have more production than last week when he had 2 catches for 6 yards. But moving forward, I think my biggest concern on this team is not with their offense. It is with their defense, but they did look really good last week with forcing the turnovers. but we were talking about off the air before we started here. They've forced 5 turnovers against the Patriots this year, won by a touchdown. Forced 6 turnovers against the Colts this past Sunday, won by a touchdown. You're not going to be able to force that many turnovers every week. My plead to the defense would be, even if it's a game where you don't force any turnovers, get off the field on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. Early in the game the other day, when it seemed like the Colts were taking control, they were completing passes to convert 3rd and 8s for first downs, 3rd and 10s. 3rd and long, you have to get off the field. Even if you don't force any turnovers, just get off the field. I'm totally fine with their offense. I like the 3 tight ends. Jake, from afar, obviously you're an Eagles fan, but what do you see with the Steelers moving forward, considering that they haven't made the big deal here?
Yeah, I'm sure that they were in conversations. It takes 2 to tango in trades. They can't just make a trade happen on one end. But I'm surprised that there wasn't a little bit more. I'm not that plugged into the Steelers beat, but I'm surprised I didn't hear more about them potentially trying to go for some sort of pass rush help, because I feel like that's where they could have used the most work. I see a guy like Jalen Phillips go to the Eagles for a probable late third round pick, considering the Eagles are probably going to be making a playoff run again. If that was the price to pay to get an extra pass rusher, and Phillips may or may not be good the rest of the season with the Eagles, who knows, but that's not that bad of a price for a team that is trying to lock down the AFC North, trying to make a playoff run for the first time in a decade, an actual run, not just show up. I don't know. I would have liked to see them be a little bit more aggressive with it, but we talked about it, a little bit ago. It's so tricky. Like midseason football trades, it's not often that they're actually successful. So yeah, this is a decent enough roster that should still be in the hunt for the AFC North. I don't think the AFC is particularly strong the rest of the way, but I like seeing a team try at the trade deadline. At least try. If it fails and blows up, whatever, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It's interesting. This is unrelated, but you mentioned the AFC not being that strong. The NFC is Seahawks are looking like maybe the scariest team in that conference, and the option before Aaron Rodgers, who the Steelers wanted at quarterback?
Sam
Darnold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which at the time I thought was like, oh, that's ridiculous. And in Arthur Smith's offense, he probably wouldn't be lighting it up for 4 touchdowns and a half like he did in Seattle. But yeah, it just shows how much I know about quarterbacking sometimes. I don't know. Like you mentioned with the 3 tight end set, that's why you don't need a wide receiver too. I mean, it'd be nice to have one, yeah, but to part with draft capital, the draft is going to be in Pittsburgh, whether that plays a factor or not. When you have Darnell Washington, Pat Freiermuth, and Jonnu Smith, who has kind of taken a bit of a step back over the past few weeks, that combines enough to be a number 2 receiver, I would think, and that was the plan.
The Sauce Gardner trade is like the huge
ridiculous.
one.
I don't understand that.
2 first rounders to the Jets from the Colts. Would you have made that? Like, I don't know exactly how badly the Steelers need a cornerback, but would you have made that trade knowing how much that defense has struggled to stop teams so far this year?
That would have just been putting more money on a defense that's already like the richest defense in the league. It would be nice, yeah, because I'm sure Sauce Gardner will be a lot better of a player at this point in his career than Darius Slay, who is the only player on the Steelers Super Bowl 30 and 40 rosters.
Oh.
Chad Brown?
Willie Williams.
Oh, Willie Williams.
Would not have known.
The tackle he made against the Colts in the 95 AFC Championship game, that saved the game. If he doesn't make that tackle, Lamont Warren runs for like 30 yards on 3rd and 3, first down with like 3 minutes to go.
I wasn't alive yet.
I mean, the things, the knowledge bombs that you just drop, like you knew the dates.
Well, I'm also now 3 and 8 in the trivia questions this year.
You might also have known the latitude and longitude that the play was made. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably know the weather conditions and
whatever. Okay, let's move on
the
to
dew on the field that morning. We're talking about dew.
Where are we at here? Where's my
talking about
recapping what happened
organized crime syndicates?
There we go. Yes, over the weekend. Well, I'm going to start with something that happened Friday because we already talked about football. I covered Seneca Valley boys and girls soccer down at Highmark in the Whitfield Championship game, and both matchups, The boys against Fox Chapel and the girls against North Allegheny was the third time this season that the teams had faced off because they're in the same section. And unfortunately for Seneca Valley, both teams lost. Incredibly nail-biting decisions to their section rivals. The boys lost in PKs 4-2 after 110 minutes of scoreless soccer to the Foxes, and the girls lost in double overtime to North Allegheny. I will say this: one kind of cool thing about about Seneca Valley is these aren't official numbers. Mark Perry told me during the regular season, Maddie Marcotte had scored 1 goal during the regular season. In the quarterfinal round, she scored the only goal in a 1-0 win. In the semifinal round, she scored the winning goal on a PK. And the other day against North Allegheny, she actually put Seneca Valley up 1-0. Obviously a lead that didn't hold up, but she scored their only goal. So somebody scored just 1 goal the whole season, and the last 3 games, she's basically got the golden foot right now for Seneca Valley. And on the boys' side, they played Fox Chapel this year, lost 2-1 in overtime, 3-2, and now a scoreless game that is ended up being decided by PKs. I know they want another shot at Fox Chapel. Jake, you pointed out if they do meet Fox Chapel again, it would be in the state semifinals. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, I'm calling it right now. If that game's played, I'm taking Seneca Valley because they've been so close 3 times this year against the Foxes. And if they meet again, I'm going with the Raiders.
They're going to have to get through McDowell first up in Erie.
And another one. Yep. And another one. Yep. They wouldn't play Fox Chapel until the state semis, so they got to win 2 games to get there. I'm
just saying that they are already on a bus up to McDowell right now. If not, they're probably getting off the bus right now. It's a doubleheader, 5:30 and 7:30 on Tuesday, so we'll know when this episode drops where they're playing on Saturday if they advance.
That is one thing that Mark Perry pointed out in Quad A in the WPIAL in soccer. If you get to the WPIAL championship game, you know your season's not going to end there. You know you will have a trip, at least 1 game in the state playoffs to try to get a little bit of retribution. We'll see how things turn out for Seneca Valley boys and girls soccer. Brendan, you covered a WPIAL championship game that turned out in our team's favor on Saturday with Freeport winning their first title ever.
Freeport has not lost a game since, I think, September 2nd. So quite the roll there. It ended up being Elena Jenkins that scored with 6 minutes left in regulation, mainly because Cameron Woods had 2 girls standing by her the entire match, and deservedly so. She's probably their biggest offensive threat. Burrow came in, like I said, with a very good defensive plan. Not only that, but just the way they played, kind of, I felt like they cleared the ball a lot, tried to get it out of bounds, work off throw-ins. And it was pretty fitting, and I talked to Steve Kukachafa, it was pretty fitting that somebody else scored the winning goal because Cameron Woods was checked very well.
Man-marked times 2.
Yeah, but Freeport's first WPIAL soccer championship in either boys or girls ever. So they finally have a trophy there to put in their trophy case.
Always cool.
Their only loss this year was to Butler back in, I think it was actually late August.
You covered it, right?
Yes. 1-0 Butler win. That's Freeport's only loss this year. Jake, we just talked to Carter French, but you have some other cross-country news.
The biggest thing that was the most interesting thing to me was, and I asked him about this today, was just the fact, or you asked him about this today, was 4 WPIAL runners in the top 6 in Class 2A, which means that bracket or that area of the state was really top heavy. I've covered a bunch of state cross-country championships in person. I don't remember, and it's happened, I'm sure, but I don't remember seeing a district dominate in the top 5 or 6 that way. Maybe top 10 or 15, but not top 5 or 6. That's a loaded bracket. Jordan Montanez from Quaker Valley was the WPIAL champion and also the PIAA champion. So he was the one everyone was chasing. We had Brendan Eicher for Butler. He medaled as well. He
Pretty
finished,
good name.
Yeah, you would like that. He medaled 15th. He was our only 3A boy to win, but we did have a 3A girl in Haley Long from Mars. She finished 14th. It was I was surprised a little bit by how many medalists we had at states this year. Just going into the season, I didn't know how good the top end of the field would be, and we come away with 2 2A boys medalists, 2 3A total medalists, and North Catholic gets, I believe, 2 on the podium and just misses out on a podium spot as a team as well.
The girls,
Yeah. So like really impressive day for WPIAL, for Butler County runners. Like my expectations going in, I didn't necessarily see that's 6 medalists, at the state championship. So a good day all around, I think, for the area.
We get the county's cross country all-star team sent to us.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this, it's going to be competitive as far as who makes it and where they are placed on that team, because we had boys and girls, a lot of good runners.
I got asked earlier for my thoughts on who I would name runner of the year, and I was like, I don't have all the times in front of me at the moment, and I named like 2 or 3 in both boys and girls. It's like, it's tight. There isn't a dominant runner on either side that I could easily name as the best, and that's on both sides, not just one.
Great season for the old-fashioned word for cross-country runners is harriers.
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 I did not know
in
that.
the spring for track, it's thin-clads. In the fall with cross-country, it's harriers. Great job to Butler County Harriers.
We need more journalism vocabulary, old-time journalism vocabulary to come back. That's what we need.
Come play some
Gritters.
online Scrabble with me and the dog at 1 o'clock in the morning. We'll see you next week.
And that's it.
We encourage you to subscribe to the Butler Eagle YouTube channel and Apple or Spotify podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Alter Eagle Podcast and at Butler Eagle News. Goodbye.